Okay, I've got my previous Specialized battery from the last video where the main positive decided to become a ground. So, just to demonstrate that. It appeared to have happened even before I replaced the fuse. But if you look at the pos and neg outputs here, we've got 38.95, and then between here, which should be the ground, and here, which should be the positive, bloody ground. So isn't that strange? So the positive output of the BMS has become ground. Something is shorted to ground. I'm pretty sure it was actually before this, but whatever. Anyway, that's that one. What I have come across is a Facebook Marketplace find, 40 of our finest British pounds, which is, I don't know, it's like 60, 70, $80, something like that. Another one. Look, a Specialized 19 amp hour, 700 watt hour, 36 volt battery pack. Isn't that snazzy? So this one doesn't work. Nothing at all when you press the charger, nothing at all. But I thought, I wonder, does it have a BMS that isn't exploded? So it seems one there. One of the screws was stripped out. I had to basically you drill it, and then it gets the plastic hot and it pops it out. I knew that was fine because I had another case from my first battery. But let's have a bit of a peek about something, shall we? Cell voltages overall are 2 volts. The cells are dead. Okay. Is the fuse blown? The fuse doesn't appear blown, or it's only partially blown. So my thoughts were, can I yoink this BMS, or even just the top half of this BMS, over onto the other battery, see if it works? Or can I bring these cells back? You know, is that an option? I don't mind how I get one to work, but can I get one to work? So I've got my adjustable power supply here. So what, 3 volts close enough. Let's just make sure I'm not being crazy. That should be positive and that should be the negative, shouldn't it? Yeah. Pos and neg. 2 meters. Get rid of this little bit of caps on tape. Okay. I mean, yeah, they're thinking about having a bit of a charge. That's 3 volts. Let's just see if we can bring them up nice and slow to some kind of usable voltage. Oh, these are a bit low. Just want to see if the BMS thinks it's going to work, or if it's a bin job. This battery apparently went faulty after a ride, so perhaps it does just have a dead cell, or a cell group in it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the BMS isn't dead. So it's getting to 11 volts now, 12 volts. Got my original Specialized charger here. I wonder if I plug that in, at what point would it start thinking it's got any life? It's still a green at the moment. Or if will it ever think it's got any life, or is it just, you know, buggered? 14 volts. Getting close to 15 volts. I'm only putting power in at sort of like 1 amp, which for a 17 amp hour pack of, I'm assuming these must be, they can't be 50Es if it's 19 amp hour. So yeah, they're probably 50Es, probably 40, 50Es kicking around in there. Isn't too high. Obviously it's too high because the cells have died. They're not safe anymore, but I think I feel warm. Do I feel warm? I think one of these is warm here. It's hard to tell, of course, because it's my hand. I'll try my little AliExpress dusty camera. What do we think? Do we see anything out of the ordinary? Nothing particularly out of the ordinary. Bump that voltage up a bit. Hopefully, if we can get somewhere near the 20 volt mark, we might see some life. No real hotspots on the BMS. Just keeping an eye on it with the thermal cam. Doesn't think there's anything too hot going on. It's 17 volts now. Again, just keeping it at 1 amp mark. Really wants to be slower than that, but I'm trying to condense it down into a video and not cut, because if it blows up, I want to capture it on camera. I don't want to not be recording, you know. Charger's still not doing anything. It's hot in this room. .6 volts now. Riveting. I'm sure you're all loving waiting. It's great fun. Yeah, nothing's getting super duper hot around here. Okay, 19.8. There you go. Look, we've got that third flashing light like I had on my my other battery, where, oh, something's wrong. Stop. You know? Which I think was a general error of stuff. Oh, oh. Nothing good happening yet. I'm going to have to cut because I need to blow my nose, and you don't want to hear that. Okay, nose has been blown. We're getting close to 23 volts now. Spray something flammable. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm getting that same flashing third light just like I was getting with my my other BMS here. Never know, might be able to fix this one. It's a shame about this one, isn't it? Only problem is it's that the ribbon cable is soldered to it, and well, I'd have to unsolder it from here and unstick it from everything, I suppose. I suppose it's not impossible to take the ribbon with us. But I'd have to take the ribbon off this one and then onto this one. It'd be a bit of a pain. It'd be easy if I could just make this one work, wouldn't it? But we shall see. I think I will cut back if anything remotely interesting happens. Because right now I'm thinking it's a bit boring. We'll come back in a while. Right, it's been some time. The cells are up now to just over 30 volts, which should indicate a happy pack. I've got, okay, 30.5 volts there on the meter. Obviously after the excuse me, leads are disconnected here, it'll drop down a touch, but you know, it's pretty close. Stick them over there. I'll turn that off because I don't think that needs to be on. We've got, there you go, 30.2. Yeah, it'll fall a bit, but it should be, you know, pretty close to all right. Got our flashy light, and I've checked out some of the cell voltages. I've checked across these, and you can go between sort of here and here, or maybe here and here, or here and here. 6 volts. There you go, like 3 volts, 3.015. 3.0, 3.0, and they're all sort of nice multiples of 3 that it's showing. They go 3 volts across there, 3 volts across there, 3 volts across there. It's all a bit weird how it's laid out. It's not linear, but you know, 3 volts across there. They're all showing 3 volts, all the groups, so they should be happy. Now, let's put the charger in there. Don't get happy lights out the charger. So, I'm thinking disconnect these two, like I did previously. See what happens. See if we can have better luck with it. So charger off. The BMS doesn't actually appear to cut negative power. The negative seems to run straight through from here to here. It appears to only cut the positive power. So between sort of here and here. Now, if I can get that off there, without shorting anything out this time, blowing anything up, second time's a charm. So that there should sort of down power things. Look, that's sort of having a bit of wobbly now. Things change. I wish I knew what I was doing, but no one seems to know, so we're finding out together. Okay, nothing great there. Let's try with the charger plugged in. Okay, still got the lights. Let's try also disconnecting this. Ah, there we go. It's all gone out now. So let's try now positive back on first. Charger's still plugged in, remember? Okay. Doesn't seem to particularly enjoy that. Let's go charger off. Let's try, you can do the little trick where you short the outputs out with your finger and it sort of does things. Not doing a lot. Okay. So let's try charger in and then negative out first. I might take this screw out. It doesn't do anything apart from hold the BMS down, but I don't want it to short things out really, in case that matters. I don't know what I did wrong last time. So there you go, look, negative is off. Well, we've still got our lights. And let's go. Oh, there you go, no, it's all gone off now. Wonder if we could get this back on quick. What does that give us? Charger out, charger in. Ah, the unhappy flashy light. So something's detecting a fault somewhere, even though the cells aren't really dead. I did do something before and fix this flashy light. Can't remember what. Let's try charger out. Both of these out. I measure in here and in here. Yeah, look, I only see 8 volts across here now. Yeah. So those lifted up. Underneath my fingernails, good place to put 30 volts, isn't it? Let's give them a sector to chill out. See what goes on there. I'm just going to pause here. Okay, it's had a second to chill out. Let's try connecting the positive first. Oh, that definitely shorted one of the cells out there. Oops. But that was just the cell through the screw. I don't think it was a big deal. It's kind of hot. Oops. Okay, what about now connecting the charger? Do we still get our stupid light? Stupid light still. Ah. See, I'm getting 50 ohms across this part of the fuse here. I'm sure I'm not supposed to. I'm sure it's meant to be just a straight through. If I grab one of my fuses, here's a bag of the fuses that are supposed to be on this board. If I measure from one of the sides to the other side, it beeps. And it beeps there as well, so you've only got 26 ohms. And it beeps. This one doesn't beep, it's got 50 ohms and it doesn't beep. I wonder if perhaps the fuse is slightly unhappy? Very hard to say, isn't it? I delid the fuse a touch there. Is the fuse partly burned? You have to excuse the back of my skull for a second because I'm going to have to get in close and have a little look. Doesn't look burned. But I don't get the same reading. And the fuse is definitely the same. See here, the new one I've got here and the old one I've got here. The only difference is the amperage. I've got 30 amp that's on this board, and a 45 amp is my replacement K10A. I'd be tempted to bridge it, but I think that's what killed the last one. And, you know, that's not what we want. Have I tried to charge it in? Pos out. Neg out. If I could do these both at the same time. Still get the funny blinking light. Makes you wonder if these things are fixable at all, doesn't it? Got to figure out a way to wipe the memory completely on this board and just start it again, I think. I'll cut back, won't I? Okay, going a bit more dangerous now. I've got the power supply hooked up, 42 volts, charging the cells directly, bypassing the BMS. And I'm going to unhook the negative. But it still is only at 1 amp. So now I'll know when it's connected or not. Hopefully, it's still doing 0.8 of an amp, even though that's not hooked up. It's interesting, because where's that going? These lights still haven't turned off. That's definitely disconnected. Now we're just stuck with these three, nothing else. It's all bizarre, isn't it? Charger plugged in does not change that at all. Nothing's particularly warm or anything, but... Could I get both screws and put them in at exactly the same time? That'd make it happier. Oh, but it'll be so dodgy. So dodgy. Don't want that on that. That'll blow up. What if I stick a little magnet to this to hold it on? Oh, that's better. Okay. Both of them at the same time. Then you get the funny flashy light. Bit out of options. I'll cut back if anything interesting happens. Maybe this is just for the bin. Who knows? Okay, so I've just been looking around at the board and stuff, and I decided, well, you know what, I'll try the fuse. So I've desoldered the fuse, and it does say 30 amp / 45 amp. So on the board there, my sorry about my disgusting fingers. The original fuse was this. Is it going to focus? Is it going to focus? We could zoom you in. I don't know how well you can make that out, but that says 30AK10. That's what was on there. And my replacement fuse is this one here. So that's the original there, and this is the replacement, and that's a 45 amp K10 SF. As far as I can tell, they are exactly the same fuse. Except this one's rated a little higher. A little higher shouldn't really be a problem, because, I mean, under a dead short 45 amp would blow anyway. These things are notorious for blowing. These were out of a Van Moof battery. Notorious for blowing very, very easily. Okay, so I've not cleaned anything up yet. All the solders are all over the place, but whatever. The board is obviously hot. But now I've got continuity from there to there, and there, and there, to there. So perhaps now it will work. Who knows? Honestly, who knows? I'll probably try that thing again, where I mushed both screws in at exactly the same time, because that seemed to not give it its weird 3 light error. It should be interesting. Hopefully no 3 light error. And then do these blow. Not blown. Not blown. And I'm not seeing that 50 ohm reading anymore. I'm seeing all good ohms. No ohms. Across the fuse is what I'd like. I've melted the side of the fuse there slightly. I forgot to put Kaplan tape over the top of it because I was in a bit of a rush. But anyway, here we are. Right. Now that's replaced. Does this work? Does it charge? No. Well, it was worth a try. To be honest, I'm awful close to being out of options now. Is that too low at 29 volts? Would it do it some good if I topped up the cells? Right, let's try just having that off and bringing the cells up in voltage a touch, because the board is still dead hot. It could be over temp or something. So this should hopefully just spark a little bit. Yep. Yeah, the cell's reading 29 volts, so maybe it's just a little bit low. Give it a couple minutes on here, and we'll see what it says. What I should probably do actually is pull that off. Set this to 30 and a half volts, something like that, so it stays up. I'll leave it for a long time. See if I can get it to stay level at 30 plus volts, and maybe it will calm the BMS down. Yeah, all this is still really hot, so peel that up. Oh, I've made quite the mess there, but I can clean that up. It's fine if it works. Obviously, if it doesn't matter, does it? So we'll get to it. Right, things have occurred. That's the battery I was just working on. This is the original battery. I've taken the top layer of the PCB from the new battery I got, and I have to put it onto the old battery. The old battery still has the little blinky light on the BMS, and what seemed to have happened was I seem to have blown up the top part of the board when I did all this in the last video. Now, sure, fine, whatever, I killed it. But will this work? It's all plumbed in. We've got our pods connected, our neg connected. We've got healthy cell voltages, I think. We've got a new fuse, because I just disgustingly soldered that on earlier. Temp sensors are back in. And then we've got our charge-discharge port here. Will that work? I wonder. Let's see what happens. Not a lot. Oh, no, see this is the temp sensor. That's what this is that's flashing up, those two. Or at least that's what's happened to the old board when I mucked about with the temp sensor. When I unplugged those, it went from the 75 to the 50. From the 75, so that light there, to both of these when I had these unplugged. I've got what are definitely good temp sensors here. .9 volts, this is it. And then per cell, just to check, 3.9. 3.9, yeah. Still not happy, is it? I'll figure it out eventually. Just take me some time. Because this doesn't cut the neg, it would seem. Because if I continuity test across the neg, I should have continuity from here to here. So the BMS doesn't appear to interfere with the negative, it interferes with the positive. So look, from positive to here, I've got continuity to my fuse and to one leg of each of these MOSFETs. That one, there. But I don't have continuity to the other leg of the MOSFETs. Which means whatever's supposed to sort of activate it, so the BMS is supposed to go, oh, I've got no problems, I'll, you know, activate this. It doesn't seem to be doing that, unfortunately. I could borrow the temp sensors from this battery. I have never had that error code on here before. Oh, they're so bloody glued in though. It's a huge pain in the bottom to get them out. Will they reach? They could reach if I, you know, did things. If I smushed these right up together, didn't short anything out. Like that. So those are temp sensors from the other one. And I'm getting, what am I getting? Hopefully not the 75 and 50. No, still getting 75 and 50, so it's not the temp sensors. Something else, that's a whole other error now. So, oh no, you've mucked about with me and shorted me out. That's why I've blown up, probably. Bah. I was looking around, there are loads more fuses on these boards than I originally thought, but I've checked them all and none of them are actually blown on either board. These very small little fuses, they're, where's one? There, see there's a little Z fuse just there. There's also a, what does that say? It's under the conformal coating, so it's a bit hard to check, but a TY fuse, that little green one just there. But none of them are blown across either board, so who knows? Try the old cell disconnection, which seemed to have actually worked for this battery in the first place. No, 7550. Ugh. This one's getting boiling hot because of the this top half of the board's off, and then this chip starts just boiling for some bizarre, unknown reason. So got to have this top half on for it to not start setting on fire. Which is interesting. Right, that should cool that down anyway. Right, so not too sure what to say now, really. Shorting out these MOSFETs should force it to start charging. I know I said that last time, I know that's when it blew up. Do I do it again? What do we think? What's the consensus? Is it a yes consensus or is it a no consensus to shorting out random things on boards? I think it should be a yes. Because what if I could just add a second BMS? What if I could bypass this BMS and then add a second one? Because there is a bit of room here to go for like a generic type BMS. But that's what blew up the last one. Oh no! What do I do? I should do it, shouldn't I? Yeah. These are my worst tweezers. Nope. Are these even connected together? Yeah, they are. I'll make me blow things up again, aren't you? Bollocks. Yep. That is how things break. I thought so. Was that only with the charger connected? Did I just blow that main fuse? Nope. What I don't understand is why between this and this, such a, you know, why is this grounded out? It's like that on this as well. Weird. The end isn't bad, is it? Yeah, the outputs are shorted. They're not on this one. If I got a bad plug. Is the charge port ruined? Is it the board? Because this board wasn't ruined before. The outputs were not shorted before. It's not that. Look on the board. This is the negative and the positive. They're shorted. See, they're not on this one, but is that because I've blown this one up? I don't know. Hopefully someone watching has some bright ideas, because if you shorted out these MOSFETs so that they were on, it would just blow up the board again. So no wonder it can't charge, because something is, very broken somewhere. Oh, what fun.